Hi guys, you're welcome and welcome back to my channel. I'm Reality Pearl and this is the African Housewives Select Show. Real Housewives of Durban episode 4. Let's get into it, shall we? This episode started right where we left off at Nonku's party. First of all, let's talk about the queen. The queen, Nonku's mother, arrived. What is it with African mothers and wanting all the attention at their child's event? It's a birthday, it's their day. If it's a wedding, it's their day too. Now, this event, I'm a bit, I'm not understanding it. And Uncle chose this event to introduce her man to the rest of the group. She was like, there's someone I want you all to meet. He's very important to me. It's time to show you, the diamond and the rough. Then the man came out. I'm not even going to lie. I don't know. There's this thing that I'm not getting. Like, I don't know how to explain it now. It's the vibes. There's something I'm getting from him that I'm not sure sits right with me. Anyway, the guy came in and met the ladies. Nonku's mom stood up to make a speech, like always. But she was like, "Thank you, my son. Thank you. Thank you." Spraying petals, blessing them. So I was like, "Is this a marriage? Like, what is this?" Her mom was happy, obviously, very happy for her daughter. Hopefully, that's not the first time she's meeting him. Nonku knows better. Moving on, Nonku, definitely felt that that was the right time to ask Sunny what's happened and why Sorisha left the party. I'm like, Nonku, why do you always do this? Nonku always finds a way to bring drama into her events. I mean, for someone that keeps saying, no, I just want it to be a peaceful event, I don't want any drama and whatnot. Why do you always bring drama into the event? It always happens with Nonku. And so she was like, Sunny, so what happened? Sorisha left. Sunny just, went off. I was like, oh, why asking me that question? Why didn't you ask your friend? You should have asked her. Why ask, am I Sorisha's mouthpiece? Am I her in the normal Sunny fashion? And let's talk about Sunny for a minute. Listen, I guess Sunny was brought into this show on one condition: to cause, a mess, to cause drama, to bring the dirt. Because I don't know why she's so intent on painting herself as the villain of the show. And actually, she dressed the part. She was looking all villainy and with her makeup, everything was off. I mean, even the photographers decided to also give her bad angles. At this point, maybe she's just the devil. And, well, I'm not the only person calling her that. Several of her castmates have already given her that name. And I think she's acting the part. So, and you know what? The devil also quotes the Bible because Sunny, tell me why Sunny decided to quote the Bible. She was like to share a Bible verse with you, Romans chapter 12, verse 18. Yeah, we all know that verse. Sunny, we all know that verse. Like, it has nothing to do with you because it was talking about how it's very important to be in peace as much as possible, as much as you can. Be in peace with everyone. It's such an irony that Sunny is the one reading this Bible verse because it has nothing to do with her. It has, I see no correlation, okay? But she read the Bible verse. Immediately Nonku brought up this topic. Slee stood up and was going to leave. She was like, no, I can't keep sitting here. I'm running out of time. I've had an encounter with the devil. Sunny is the devil right now. Moving forward, Annie with her husband, and Annie was telling him how she went with Jojo to meet her doctor, and the doctor was going to do a lift so that her eye can stay open. And her husband just wanted to know for him, why are you really doing this? He was really very supportive. I loved the fact that he was supportive both emotionally and financially too. That's something that we cannot emphasize enough. He was like, if it's about the social media, if it's about the trolls on social media, forget about it. A lot of us, found our voices on social media. A lot of you guys are very comfortable behind your phones, behind your keypads, trolling people and just talking nasty about other people. That's not good. Yeah. Moving forward, Nonku and Bali went to Slee's place. They sat down, they were talking. Listen, we got to find out that Nonku has only been dating this man for 2 to 3 months. Now, I don't know if this timeline is for the whole time that Nonku has known this man, or if it's just right at the time that that she said yes and they started dating. However, she said they've been together for 2 to 3 months, and she was ready to introduce the man to her children. Now, the two ladies were not for it. They immediately said, no, 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 like, come on, girl, it's too early. It's too early to introduce a man that you've only been dating for 2 months or 3 months to your kids. What's going to happen if it doesn't work out? I mean, firstly, she was like, you first of all need to see this man, because this man also has his own kids. Yeah. So you need to see him in his own environment, in his own elements with his children. You need to see how he is with his children. You need to see how he disciplines his children. You think you have had enough time to know what this man thinks about parenting, what this man thinks about, a blended family, what this man thinks about marriage, and all other things. There are a lot of things to consider before, even making this decision. But guess what? Nonku is not hearing any of those things right now. Nonku is in La La Land. She's in love. Okay. And when people are in love, there's nothing you're going to say to them that will, make sense. Personally, Nonku, I think that your friends are really, really right. Okay. I could tell Nonku was resisting, resisting, resisting. She didn't want to hear any of that. And in her confessional, of course, she was like, these women are just going like blah, 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 blah. Right now it will look like they don't know what they're talking about until it comes back to bite you in the ass. I love you, Nonku, but I'm going to tell you, like, from what everyone is saying, from everyone's experience, yo, it's too early, girl. It's too early. I think they asked her, "What's your conviction?" or something like that. She was like, I've been praying, and I'm convinced. I think he's the one. I have peace, and trust me, when girls start with "I have peace," they're just trying to tell you to zip it, as in keep your advice to yourself. Just zip it, okay? I'm moving on because they were talking about the man in Nonku's life. So Slee asked Mbali, tell us about the man. Trust me, I always get these vibes when Mbali is talking about her fiance, like she's not sure. I don't get it really. How did you get to the point of getting engaged to this man, Mbali, if you're not sure? From the first episode, you remember when I said, I don't know, but it seems like she's not really sure where she stands with her fiance. Yeah, she still sounded like that. She was like, and she met him right at the time where she needed a man for companionship and for other things like sex. He's not her spec. She never even thought she would date the man. But now they are engaged, right? She's also concerned for his job. He's an artist and income can be up and down. Don't really have a stable income. At this point, Mbali, I think you should just stop talking to these ladies about your fiance, because they're going to, at some point, bring it around. Okay, and you will not like it. The most important person to talk to right now about all these concerns is the fiance. Okay? Well, child. Moving forward, Slee and Jojo decided to have a sit down and, talk about their problems and probably apologize to each other. I think that they did more of rehashing the problems than apologizing. But there was a lot of back and forth between them. I'm not even going to go into the details, but they were talking about the outbursts that they each had at Sorisha's event. And at this point, I feel that they should just agree to disagree, because Slee was not going to agree that she even told Calvin in the first place that she was single and searching. But look at what she said. She was like, let me tell you the real story. Let me tell you what really happened. Lee said that when she met Calvin, because they were just meeting for the first time, Calvin introduced himself to her and he was like, who is your husband here? And then she went on to say something in the lines of, I'm single, I'm searching. But she said, you know what? I can't be telling Calvin to find me a man, because I love me a black man, like a chocolate man. Obviously, Jojo's husband is not going to find me that. But Jojo was like, no, this couldn't have happened the way you're saying it, because my husband can't even ask you that question. Like, when I get home, I'm going to find out from him. At some point, Jojo tried to apologize. At the end of the day, they agreed to disagree. Okay. Forward, we saw Maria and her son. They had mommy's son fun day, right? And they even talked. Her son reminds me of Sorisha's son too because they have the same thing in common. They like have a smart mouth. But yeah, refreshing scene. Listen, Annie invited the ladies. They were going to have a ride with Land Cruisers, Abby? Land Rovers, sorry. They were going to have a ride with Land Rovers, right? And Maria was like, everyone is excited to go on this drive with a Land Rover. I drive this car every day. Whoa, whoa. Maybe Annie should have considered that, Maria, please. Sorry, and Slee in their own car, right? They got talking about Nonku. They were like, oh, I'm surprised Nonku is not here. So they both insinuated that it could be because Annie didn't go for Nonku's event. It looks like there's some form of tension between Annie and Nonku because Annie was noticeably absent at Nonku's event. And now Nonku is at a shoot. But Annie was like, I invited her, I extended the invite to her. Well, she's not here and it's all good. Moving forward, the women all came together at the end of the ride and yeah, they were talking about Nonku because obviously Nonku was absent. And Slee was like, yeah, Annie, what you haven't met the man, right? And she said, no, I haven't. And everyone was talking about how, they were cute. The man was all over Nonku, dotting on her. Cute couple vibes, right? Annie was like, so you guys are feeling the guy. Are you people feeling his vibe? Everybody was like, yeah, yeah, except Slee. Slee was like, and he said, what, Slee, you better speak up. What is it? Are you feeling it or you're not feeling it? And Slee was like, Nonku is my friend and I'm happy for her. I think she said it this way. So if Nonku is happy, then I'm happy until she is not. Yeah, Slee is saying my mind, right? I'm happy for Nonku until she is not happy. She should have read the room. She should have known that whatever she was going to say was going to go back to Nonku. And it might not go back the same way she said it, right? Because I don't see anything wrong with what Slee said. But obviously, Jojo has a problem with it. Listen, the next scene, okay? Jojo and Nonku went wine tasting. Of course, Nonku has a wine brand, right? It always feels like she's learning something new with the rest of us, right? Every time wine is brought up, they make her look like she doesn't know a lot about her business. I don't know if that is right. These people that are editing, they are really very shady because I don't know why they keep doing my Nonku like that. Like, I don't know. Nonku was like telling Jojo that she wanted to tell her something about Slee, that Slee has been upset, because of the way she introduced her to the ladies, and that she feels Slee has been upset since then, and that she even had a dream where Slee was saying some things that were not so good about her. Yeah, no, you don't have to be spiritual to have that kind of dream. Of course, you know that Slee is not happy with you. So yeah, it's just in your subconscious. That's the kind of thing that happens when you are thinking about a particular situation or somebody. Yeah, you tend to dream about them. Jojo was like, yeah, you're right, girl. Slee has been talking smack about you. The other day, she was talking about you and she said, oh, she is going to be happy for you until you are no longer happy. She pretends to be happy for you, but she really isn't. Because why she's saying that she's happy if you're happy until you're not happy. Oh my, everyone with a little bit of brain understood what Slee said, maybe except Jojo. And I love you, Jojo, but there's no need to start drama. I know you don't like Slee. Now, you have to wait for Slee to say something about Nonku's man, like before you can then say that Slee is not happy for Nonku. I'm sure that if she has concerns, she will tell Nonku. But right there at that gathering with the other ladies, Slee didn't mention any concerns she had about that man. She only said, I'm happy for my friend. And that is what any friend would do. Jojo is not that friend that criticizes their friend. I saw this comment under Jojo's video about, Nonku's man. And the comment was like, girl, like tell your friend, that guy, we know him very well in certain areas. He's not the one. Something like that. I mean, at this point, Nonku just has to tread carefully. And Nonku said, you know what? I think Slee is two-faced. I will not use that word to describe Slee, actually. I think that she's the kind of person that will tell you what she thinks, whether you like it or not. And that might be her flaw, but she's not two-faced. Yeah, I don't agree with that. Moving forward, we saw Mbali at home with her fiance, the young artist. And Mbali started telling her fiance how she would want to try. I'm sure they've had this conversation in their bedroom and whatnot. But I'm just going to say what is in my mind. How are you trying to have a child with someone that you're not really sure? You're showing us that you're not sure of the man. Or are we missing something here? It's out there. You're telling us that you're not sure of this man. You're not sure of his sources of income. You're not sure if he's right, if he's there for the right reasons. But you're also discussing that you want to have a child with him. I don't know about this one, right? Like, get it together, Mbali. Well, she was like, she would want to try. She still has one fallopian tube, and so she wants to, have an appointment with the doctor and see what her chances are. And the guy started off with, no, we just got engaged. And then I don't know if some parts were left off on the editing room, but the next thing he said was, yeah, this is a good time to talk about it. Actually, this is a good time to try. I think we should try while we are also doing the wedding plans, make the plans for the wedding. And he's like, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. I'm ready. But child, you can't say you're ready. If this guy was really ready, he would have just said, yes, like, I'm ready. And I would hear the excitement on his voice. I'm not sure he's ready. Please subscribe to my channel. Okay. This is the last scene, and it was Nonku and Jojo. Remember when Nonku and Jojo were talking at the wine scene, they decided that they were going to, invite Slee to talk some things over. So they stuck with that plan. And immediately Slee sat down, they went straight to business, no pleasantries and whatnot. Jojo was like, there's some things we just really wanted to talk to you about. Like, for example, I spoke with Kelvin concerning, the situation about single and searching. And Kelvin said he didn't start that conversation with you, and that he never asked you who you were married to. This thing just reminded me of secondary school, really, because everything about it was a bit childish. Because how do you not know that when you come to a grown woman like that she's going to all like turn very defensive now? And then Nonku went on to say, like, she has been hearing some things that Slee has been saying. It was just too much. I couldn't even watch through, because I don't know if I can sit down and listen to you say that kind of thing to me. Slee was like, ladies, chop chop, it's time to go. I'm not going to sit down here for this rubbish, okay? Slee said, you know what? I'm tired of both of you. And you guys don't like me, and it's fine. I don't even want to be friends with you. And you don't have to try to be friends with me. Okay, trust me, guys, this is not going to be the end. But actually, this is the end of this episode. I'm glad that I came to the end of this episode. And thank you guys if you stuck through with me so far in this season. Annie and Sorisha, they probably, have had a meeting to stay calm and stay low key, because that's what they've been doing. Now, Jojo and Nonku, on the other hand, they have had a pact to be messy and dramatic. Firstly, it's going to be a tough season for her. Her spiritual cleansing, she's definitely going to be doing a lot more of it. I think I'm going to love watching Slee and Sorisha's friendship. Hopefully, there's something there. Yeah, I would love to see that happen. For Maria, I don't know where she is, and I don't know where she stands in this group. Really, I don't know where she is. She's still trying to find her foot, find her storyline, and whatever it is that is going to keep her in this season. Yeah, I'm excited to see the rest of the season. Serious. Thank you for watching, and see you very soon.